Hey art friends, in this video we're going to draw peonies. I hope you're going to follow along with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get started. Before we start, I want to give you a quick preview of our finished drawing. This is how our peonies turned out, and I hope you're really excited to follow along with me. Remember, don't worry about making your drawing look exactly like mine. You can take time to change your drawings. You could add more flowers or even more leaves. Let's start by drawing our first peony right here in the top of our paper, kind of in the middle. We're going to start by drawing a big, almost like we're going to draw an oval shape, but we're going to leave the top open. Okay, now let's draw the petals. We're going to start here and we'll curve up from the center. So we're going to curve, we're going to come up, and then we're going to add a couple bumps. Then we can add a couple more bumps on the side, and we're coming up to connect into the left side here. And we could also add some of these lines curving further. Oh, let's even do it all the way. So we added an extra petal there. And you could add even more little texture lines also if you want. Okay, now let's draw the petal and petals coming out to the right. We're going to draw a couple bumps, maybe even some small ones. And let's do the same thing over here. Let's add a line right here. And then we've got this first part done. Now we can add the center. And we're just going to draw a bunch of little circles connected together. You could add more if you want, but I'm going to leave it just like that. Now let's draw the back of our petals. And we're going to do the same thing, add some bumps. Some of them can be big and some small, and will connect to the other side. But let's divide up the petals. We could add a curve here that comes in and connects to the center, and we could also draw little texture lines coming out. Now we're going to add even more petals going around the outside. So let's draw a curve right here. We're going to curve out and come up further. And then we can do the same thing on the right side. We'll curve up. Now let's draw a bunch of upside down U's or bumps that we did for the back of the center too. We're going to draw it coming all the way over to the other side and connect in. And then we can add the extra details. Let's draw a few more petals in here so we can draw maybe this curve here comes in and connects. And then we could draw another one maybe here. And one, oh, let's make these look more 3D. I'm going to draw an S curve right here at the end. And then over here we could draw, oh, let's draw a couple bumps and then we'll connect in. Now we can also add those texture lines coming up too from the bottom of each petal. And one last thing, let's add a few petals or a couple petals down here that have fallen or opened even more than the rest of them. So we've got one more petal sticking out here. That looks really cool. We can add the little texture lines coming out too. And we did it. There's our first peony. And it looks really cool, but I think if we add two more, it'll look even better. So let's repeat the same steps. We'll go a little faster, and we're going to draw them down here. We'll draw one on each side. And now I'm going to turn my paper diagonal so it's a little easier to draw. So it's straight up and down to me. And it's easier than trying to draw it sideways here. Okay, let's start by doing the same steps. We're going to draw that oval shape. I'm going to draw it kind of close. Let's see, right about here. We're going to draw the oval shape for the center. And then we're going to draw, maybe we can even try to simplify it more. I'm going to draw the bumps coming around to the other side. Then we can turn these into petals by drawing a line further down. And we can draw those texture lines coming up. And then let's also draw, let's draw the center. We can add those little circles connected. And then let's draw the back of our petals. So we'll draw those bumps going across, and then we can add the line separating some of those petals. And then let's draw the curve coming out to the side further on the left and also on the right. And then let's draw those bumps connecting those two lines all the way over to the other side. And then we can divide up the petals they really do have a lot of petals. Peonies have a ton, and they're bunched together really cool. So don't worry about making your drawing look exactly like mine. Just have fun by adding as many petals as you want. And we can also add that 3 dimension to the petal that's on the side. We can draw it curving down, and we can do the same thing over here. Now let's add the petals right here that are sticking out further down here at the bottom that have opened up even more. And then we can add those texture lines too. I think we simplified that even more. It went faster. Let's see if we can do the same thing with our last peony over here on the left. So I'm going to turn my paper diagonal again. Then we're going to draw that center oval shape. Then we'll draw the bumps of the top of the petals connecting over to the other side. And then we'll divide the petals up. Now remember, if I ever go too fast, you can pause the video if you need that extra time. We'll add the texture lines. And then we can draw the center. A lot of times with the peonies, I don't think you can actually see these unless they're really opened up, because the petals are bunched together so much. So you can decide what you want to do. You could add more petals in the center instead of adding all of these circles. Now let's divide up the petals, and then we're going to draw the outside curves for the petals that are open more, and then we'll draw the bumps coming around to the other side, and then divide up the petals by drawing the lines connecting. And we can make them more 3D by adding these extra curves on the outside. And then let's draw those petals sticking out further at the bottom. Also, those little texture lines or folds in the petal. And we did it. We got all 3 of our peonies. It looks really cool. But now let's draw the stems and also the leaves to make it look even better. Okay, let's start by this stem. We'll draw this stem curving to the center of our paper. We'll draw the other side of the stem curving to match. Okay, then let's draw this one curving in also. And then the other side of the stem. Before we add this stem down the middle, let's draw a few leaves on these flowers so that they're in front of this stem that we're going to draw right in the center. So maybe we could add another one here too. I'm going to draw it coming out and past this one, and then we'll curve back in. Now let's draw the stem for this one. I'm going to imagine it coming down, and we can kind of S-curve down to the center too. So it's not just a straight line. All right, now let's add even more leaves to make this look full. We're going to draw one. Let's draw one leaf, or we'll draw a branch of leaves coming out here. So there's the center of our stem, and then we're going to draw the leaf coming out and around. And then at the bottom, or the other side of the leaf, we're going to draw an S-curve and connect to where we started. Now let's draw a leaf coming out this way. And you can really have fun with this part and add as many leaves as you want. And you don't have to draw them exactly how I'm doing it. Don't worry about trying to match. I think sometimes that might cause frustration if you're trying to match it exactly as I'm drawing it. So just have fun and change where you're putting the leaves too. They don't have to be in the same place. So I'm going to draw another stem coming out here to the right to kind of balance out the left side. I'm going to draw this leaf coming out really far. And then we'll draw the S-curve for the other side. And then let's draw a leaf coming out the top and also the bottom. It's already looking more full. We're filling up some of that negative or empty space. Now let's add leaves up here. So I'm going to draw this one coming right through the middle like this. Oh, and maybe that's the center of our leaf. So we could draw the outside coming out like this and the other side coming in. Let's add another leaf here and The other side, this one's overlapping the one we already drew. And then we can draw, well, let's draw one kind of behind the flower too. We're gonna draw it coming out this way and then back in. Oh, that looks really cool. And we can add another one right here in this empty space to fill it. Okay, let's add a few leaves coming out over here to this empty negative space. Negative space doesn't mean that it's bad. This would be called the positive space, and then negative is in between the two things that we've already drawn. So we don't want to fill the negative space entirely or completely. We just want to make it look a little more interesting by adding more things to our drawing. And that looks really cool. Let's leave it just like this, but we still need to color it. This part we'll fast forward, but at the end you can pause the video if you want to match my same coloring. We did it! We finished drawing and coloring our peonies, and they turned out so much better all colored in. I hope you'll take time to color your drawings. Now you could change the colors any way you want, but if you want to color the same as me, I first added a solid layer of pink and also green. Oh, and yellow. Then I used darker colors to add shading in the petals and a darker green for the shading and texture on the leaves. You can also add little shadows at the bottom or the top of the stem underneath the bottom of the flower. Just adding that simple dark layer makes our drawings look so much more 3D. I hope you had a lot of fun following along with me and drawing peonies, and we'll see you later, our friends. Goodbye.